Hi, this is Drew Zagorski, and welcome to the Gray Matter Stream of Consciousness. We're going to start this segment by a little experiment. I'm going to show you a picture and then ask you to listen to a sound bite. Here we go.
Roasted garlic, warm cheese, homemade tomato sauce. You can feel the weight of the ingredients on the crispy crust. The creamy texture of melted mozzarella peels away string by string, dripping with anticipated flavor. The aroma of fresh basil, oregano, and sausage emanates from the saucy slice, and you can almost taste it. Finally, you close your eyes and take it all in with one big, crunchy bite.
Well, thanks for playing along. Today we're going to talk about radio and why it works and why it's a viable channel for your marketing. I want to thank the Bing Lounge and Portland Area Radio Council today. Here's Melissa Cundy from Park for making this possible. The folks at Bing Lounge are doing the audio and video production for us. So a couple of things about radio that I want to throw out there. It's just some raw statistics. Radio reaches over 240 million people a day. It is a growing medium, and one of the key demographics of radio is people age 14 or 18 to 49 with college education and a household income of over $75,000. Now, if that isn't an attractive demographic, I don't know what is. But I've asked Melissa to come here today to talk to us about radio and answer some questions. So, Melissa, why don't you tell us why radio continues to grow and what makes it a good marketing choice?
Well, one of the reasons I think that, Drew, that radio continues to grow is it's a very personal medium. Radio reaches thousands, millions of people every day, but it speaks to one person at a time. And so I think in a day, in this world of digital clutter and 5,000 messages hitting people, I think that it's still, I know through research, that it's a companion medium. And so you can get really isolated in the digital sphere. And radio is that one medium where you can turn on and you can feel like you're in community. So that's why I think it's growing, because it really is this connection to other people. It's kind of like the original social media, if I can, stretch it that far.
Okay. Why does it work?
Why does it work? Well, I think really what radio works because it is the superpower of sound and story. There is no other medium out there that a business can talk to somebody one-on-one that will allow them to tell their story and create a signature sound. And you can really stand out with radio, where as other mediums, I think it was Martin Lindstrom said that, and I'm not going to quote this exactly, but like 86 or 83% of all businesses spend their entire marketing budget on visual. And yet, it is its emotion through sound that drives and can even boost sales and get people wanting to buy. I mean, he wrote biology and did a lot of neuroscience studies. And so radio is that medium that touches the emotion where people are. I mean, people are listening it to in their car. They're listening to, at the point of purchase, they just got out of their car listening to something, and they're motivated because they have this sense of connection with that brand. And it's something that can happen all year long. And it's not just this random out there. Your business becomes that business that's in their mental community. Does that make sense?
Sure. All right, Melissa. Well, you talked a little bit about why it's a good, medium to use, but how does radio really work for businesses today, and particularly small businesses?
Well, I think that radio can really do well for small businesses because small businesses are about connecting to local communities. That being said, there are some businesses that probably wouldn't fit on local radio. And that's not because local radio couldn't do them justice or couldn't grow their business, but there are some things that a business owner has to think about. What is your strategy? What is your position? And what is your story? And what are all the other business practices that you're doing? Because once you're on the air, you have to deliver, because radio is the ultimate word of mouth. And so a DJ, or they hear a commercial and somebody hears it, and I heard about your organization, and so I decided to go there, and then I don't have a great experience, that starts the trend. So it's this sort of amplification. What I say to businesses is, don't think that a small business can't use radio. What it is all you have to think about is, how many people do I want to reach? How many people can I afford?
Right.
And then reach that number of people. So let's say there's a small business that lives in Washington County, and they want to reach Washington County folks. There's a great little radio station called KUIK over there that reaches specific Washington County, that has cost-effective rates. Sometimes rates, and I don't want to quote anything here, but somewhere between $20 to $80, and that can reach up to 40,000 people. And even you can just pick a day part, you can pick a whole radio station, and you can slowly grow. So let's look at, or streaming, for instance. Streaming really works very well at what, $5 a stream, and let's say you're reaching 1,000 people every day. 5,000 or $5 into 1,000 people, that's like pennies per audio impression. So it's really about, it's not necessarily, building a business isn't about reach as much as it's about frequency and them hearing your story.